I had this like a couple of times where it's just like I don't know if it just throws a hissy fit over there it is, Minecraft. Come on. I know you want to be a little bit of a bugger right now because I'm making you do stuff. And work. There we go. Have some working. Oh, you know what? I forgot. I need to update this now, don't I? We're doing some Minecrafting. We're gonna dig for some diamonds. Hopefully. Maybe. There we go. Alright. There we go. That's all changed. That's all updated. Huzzah. Bonsai. The whole shebang. There we go. So, yeah. So I got a silky touch. It's my silky diamond. It's so nice. I got my anvil. There we go. Okay. The game is like so weird for me. Like when I start out, every time I start out, it always like goes a little bit off the deep end. And like if I press forward, then it's just kind of like forward, 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 forward. It makes me go forward for like 5 minutes. I know I had another extra set of shears. In one of these. Yes, I know I need to actually get these sorted. It drives me nuts probably more than it drives you guys nuts. Oh, my stuff from delving deep. I do have a couple Eyes of Ender, so I do need to look into, or Ender Pearls, excuse me. I don't have Eyes of Ender. I do need to take another look now at whether or not I could honestly try to pull off the, oh yeah, 41. I have 41 diamonds now. If I could honestly pull off the roof glitch in the nether to get myself onto the roof, because if I do that, then I think I could build a gold farm, and that'd be pretty useful when it comes down to trading. Did I end up losing my shears? You can see I have crap tons. I found, because of a lot of stuff I found, like this is a block of solid raw iron. I didn't even know those spawned in the world. I've got lots of rail carts, which is good. I got a couple of powered rails. I got a lot of like detector rails and things like that. I actually look into how some of this stuff actually functions, because I'd love to try and build like an auto minecart ride where you can just like push a button. There they are. Just have it push a button, pop out a minecart, turn around, and just go ahead, hop in the minecart, and it just goes. And when you get to your destination, it thunks itself like right back into a hopper or a chest or whatever it is. So I've seen a couple of those before, and I've always thought those were super interesting. It's like I'd love to try and do that. I'm not sure if there's what I'm looking for. I could pull that off. But I think it'd be super interesting to try and pull it off. Alright, so what do I have here? I got my bow. I don't have any. I have 46 arrows. Those don't need to be there. I've got string. Store the string. I want to keep. I've got 2 iron pickaxes. That's fine. I've got an iron axe. Let me get. I have so much like raw iron that I found that I don't need. Oh, that's a block of quartz. There's my iron. Let me make a iron sword. There we go. I'll drop the iron back off. I could take it with me because I don't really have any need for an iron sword. Or for iron, I have so much iron just kind of gathering up over there that it's not even funny. But yeah, kind of what I'd love to try and do it. I'd love to try and get it so it'd be like my cart comes in, it like pops you off like right here as it disappears into like a chest. And then you just push the button and the button pops it back out and you just hop into it and you just go all on your own. I'd love to try and do that. I'd have to figure that one out because there's a couple different things like I've seen and it's like to do that you really have to kind of like understand redstone. Not like, oh yeah, I get redstone. I was like, cause like no, you have to understand how redstone works, what you do with redstone. I mean, the like hidden doors and stuff that I've seen are all like completely insane builds. And I was just sitting there staring at it and was like, I would love to try and figure some of this stuff out. I understand a little bit of how redstone works, but I'm nowhere near that level of just sheer knowledge of redstone and how redstone just functions. I try and get down there. I went down like that way as far as I could. It's not very far. But I've always had the thought in my head, it's like I could go back there and try to just get some more, try to dig stuff out from back there. So yeah, you come down this way. So I was looking up some stuff on these caves before. So one of the things I was seeing, they suggested, I don't have any torches. One thing I was seeing that the guy was suggesting was to take kind of like some of these spots, like this is a budding piece, and actually like clear it out, like this one was actually to like clear it out on all sides, or as many sides as you could, because the way that like the budding actually works, it would be kind of like the every side of it that's clear, it has a chance to grow however often it actually like does it. It kind of spawns into a, yeah, it will do A, B, or C. You know, it'll grow these, you know, like shards on the side. You can get small, medium, large shards off of it. Did I do? That's right. I kind of started this, but I don't have any torches, so I don't want to go any farther that way. Let's see here. I want to go back to the mine shaft, so that's this way. But every single one is like every 70 seconds or so, it tries to decide on what to do, if it's going to do something like that, and in order to there we go, quote unquote solve that problem, because it'll pick a side and then it'll pick what if it wants to grow or not. And so they were sent back pointing out, it's like it picks a side, it'll do that, but the problem is all this obsidian. Problem is that if it's covered, then it just doesn't do anything. Woohoo, obsidian. Oh. Iron. There's still some stuff that I was still finding down here. But, like that's a naturally occurring torch. So yeah, this is kind of the, I found this down here. And so you can kind of see everything is exactly, yeah, I didn't try to do a ton while I was down here just because I wasn't sure There's a lot of gravel in the area. That's the one thing that kind of confused me as to why there's so much gravel. I cleared out, like, I was doing some strip mining in another spot, and I got to a spot where it was just gravel, so I just started clearing out the gravel. The next thing you knew, I had just this massive section just cleared out, nothing but gravel. I mean, even this is like, this is something I'm gonna have to come back here with like a shovel and torches and try to clear all of this out because it's just so big. You just can't. I can't do anything with it like right now. I came down here for a couple of things. One is to try and pick up the spider webs there and there. You know, see. Other times I miss crap. I've seen people just like use the silk touch axes on all those like raw iron, raw redstone, and I just kind of sat there and looked down like, why exactly? I'm like, wouldn't you actually want to use a non-silk touch item? Because now what I end up with is I have, you know, here I have deep slate redstone ore. Well, now I actually have to do extra work on it to make it so that's actually usable for me. I think this was lapis right here. I mean, for the most part, a lot of the stuff that you found. Oh, it's like, why is that taking as long as it is? It's not the right tool for the job. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff where I just kind of went through and just said, all right, you know what, I'm just going to clean out everything that I can, get rid of. It was mostly just gravel. Then I ended up just flat out just trying to find a ways to get rid of. I was just kind of like, there's no reason to try and keep this here. And look at that. Look at how much gravel and stuff is just around here. The useful thing about gravel, from what I've kind of discovered, though, is that, like I said before, the vast majority of diamonds will spawn with no exposure to air. So that means that they're completely covered on all sides by some other block. Whatever that block happens to be, doesn't matter. They're just covered in some way, shape, or form. Gravel covers it. So it could very easily just be a case of, I'm just looking up above my head before I do this. It could very easily be a case of gravel, especially, and I found like in a zone like this where I have found a significant number of diamonds. Let's go faster if I actually just had a torch. Where you have like, look, there's a significant amount of gravel in here. And gravel is pretty easy to get rid of if you've got the right tools. Unfortunately, I don't have the right tools on me right now. Best tools to have would be a shovel and a shovel and a torch, because you can, shovel takes care of it uber quickly, and then you can take a torch, and if you're fast enough, take the torch underneath, mine out like the block, and really quickly throw a torch down underneath, because what happens, because gravel falls, if you put something underneath of it, that just kind of auto turn it into a block that you can pick up rather than just having it settle. So if you do it fast enough, you can just basically do, you only have to actually quote unquote mine out one block, and then you immediately just turn around and the rest of it just turns into blocks for you, and it just makes life Super simple. Then I came down here to this. I have a large empty room. There wasn't like a spawner or anything in here that I broke. This is just literally what it was. I thought about trying to do a little strip mining. Wasn't holding my breath. I haven't had a ton of luck with strip mining, like, in general. The whole process behind strip mining is essentially just to try and expose the most amount of blocks possible with the smallest amount of effort possible, which, you know, makes sense. So you do that by standing kind of where you are and mining out as far as you can reach without having to move. Now, obviously, I'm moving down the tunnels because I want to pick up the deep slate and stuff like that, because I still want to use it for like potential building blocks and stuff like that later. But a lot of players won't necessarily do that. They'll just mine out and look and see. It's like, is there anything, you know, is there ore? Is there coal? Is there diamonds? Are there redstone? No? Well, then that's pointless. And you may see I moved 3 blocks up before I started doing it again, and that's because I am, hey, look at that, redstone. I am not exposing more than 1 block. A block more than 1 time, excuse me. Ooh, I see some, looks like gold. I could always use some more gold. I need to do some more trading with piglins. See if I can pick up some more stuff. I've been tempted to try and just go into creative mode and try to create an auto sorter. It just takes, like, part of me doesn't want to because I would love to try and do it, you know, myself without having to do that. Pick up some gold ore here. But I also have to acknowledge the sheer amount of resources, some of which I don't have yet. Like, there's something talking about, I was like, oh, well, it's that you could use this, which I think I could make it, but in limited quantities. That's not bad. Well, something else I want to try. Glow lichen. And then the other thing was honey block. I'm like, I haven't seen a honey block at all. I know where 1 honeycomb is. And I was thinking, like, honey block, how many things would I need to actually for a honey block off of that 1 honey? And I couldn't figure that out. Whereas, like, alright, well, that's probably a decent amount on its own that I'm going to need. Who knows at this stage? I could look it up, but that's one of those deals where I like figuring stuff out on my own without looking stuff up. But at the same time, there's a lot of things in a lot of games where you're like, it's easier to just look it up because you can figure it out yourself, but it's not easy. Look at that. See? Bedrock. It's just not easy to try and actually figure out anything like that on your own without causing yourself and anyone else around you a royal headache. Like, I could probably figure out a lot of the secrets to redstone, given enough time and enough practice. One thing that I have kind of realized I'd love to try and do is I was watching a video trying to help me be able to find stuff because I just don't know where stuff is, some stuff. And so he was talking about finding ruined cities. He's like, well, they spawn in these biomes under basically these circumstances. And I'm like, okay. I haven't quite, I don't have a mountain biome yet that I could just flat out kind of be like, yep, I can just go there and I can just start looking for it. I think on the other continent or island or whatever it is, I think that there is a relatively large I think there's a relatively large see? Even I missed stuff. I missed an entire tunnel? Holy crap. Yeah, because just the one tunnel. Pick this up. Pick this up. And then obviously, pick this up too. Just the two. Alrighty. Thought I'd finish this whole section up, but apparently not. Ah, there we go. I picked up 2 treasure chests in the Man in Mine already, so I don't doubt that there'll be any more. Let me rephrase that. It'd be very surprising to me if there were any more treasure chests in this dungeon. In this abandoned mine, not dungeon. I mean, I suppose it is technically a mine too, but... Oh, I turned that into obsidian. Partially by accident. Oops, I saw redstone. There's a decent amount of redstone down here. So nice, and yet at the same time just a little bit frustrating by the sheer amount of redstone you can kind of like pick up. So I spent so long just trying to in the early game just to find like redstone anywhere, and now all of a sudden I have, you know, shit tons of it that have been like right next to me the entire time, and I'm like, I wonder. I need to bring some torches down here. Ah, great, the poison ones too. Let's go with the sword, since there's 2 of them. I'm gonna have to leave him for right now because I don't have enough food. I don't have enough food to handle this nonsense. I was just coming down here to try and clean up the wood and maybe see if I could find some more diamonds. I didn't realize I'd find whole sections of it that I didn't even bother to explore before. I'm not quite prepped for something like that, and I really shouldn't have this down here while I'm doing that in the first place. I found this section up here before too. Like, this is an incredibly, at least in my opinion, I found this an incredibly interesting mine system. Because it's this whole massive like system, but it's all like divided up. So it's like there's section up here. See down there. Then if you actually go this way, This is actually where one of the treasure chests was. You get a whole another bit. This is actually me. I mined this section actually out because I was starting to do some strip mining. As you see, I got to there and I hit lava, and I kind of came down here and I kind of turned and said, well, I'll just go down here and do this. And so as I'm mining stuff out there, I'm kind of like, I'm gonna hit lava again, aren't I? And I hit lava. One block. Almost didn't make it out of there. So it's an interesting section, just the sheer amount of diamonds, not diamonds, just the sheer size of the mine shaft spread out in a really unique way, I thought. Oh, goody. My food was not enough to actually take me back up to full food status. Alright, we need to get out of here and get some food. So, this is the spot where I always get confused. That's the way out. I'll show you guys this here. This huge ass cave system. I haven't really explored down there yet, obviously. I haven't really explored down that way yet. Outside of, I gone here to this this is a cliff. You can kind of see, I've been down there, and I kind of been up over that way. You can see, obviously, there's some stuff over there I still need to get to. But this cave is just huge. It's going to take me a decent amount of time just to try and crawl my way through it. And that's not even counting like some of the other stuff that I could find just a little bit easier that I might be able to crawl my way through. So I'm like, there's just a lot of stuff. The other thought I had was I could try, and I'm thinking here, what time is it I got? I don't want to be up uber long here. Tomorrow's Friday. Just my other thought was to build a second, so I have the auto melon farm, but my thought was to build another farm similarly. I was gonna look up, see if maybe I could find one that's maybe a little bit more efficient, because I feel like the melon farm is not. The efficiency on it feels weird to me, and it might just be me. But it's just like, it just kind of feels a little bit weird to me. It doesn't feel like it's necessarily as fast as it could be. Not as efficient as it necessarily could be. I specifically chose that one just because the other ones had what I felt were extra steps in the minecart. So they like pull the chest out to one side. So the minecart actually has to physically come out of the kind of square to go to the chest, and then it went back up. And I was like, well, you can do that, but I feel like that's. I went. Oh wait. One more. Here we go. As I said, I was like, I feel like that's extra work on the minecart that you don't need to do, because it's just a few extra like steps. Like, oh, the minecart has to come out here. And then it has to, I always miss this. Minecart has to come out here, and then it goes back in. And so mine is like, I considered actually altering my minecart from the way that it's set up now to, should really put in a double staircase system so I don't have to be as precise. Yeah, and nap time. also need to get a Fletcher that'll let me sell him feathers. That would really help me out too. So I feel like, A, I'm really convinced that the minecart is moving as fast as it has the potential to be moving. I don't know, maybe it's back up, maybe it feels better now just because, you see, now I actually am leaving melons behind just because I've now filled it up, obviously. This is full. You see, I just took a stack and immediately I have another stack that refilled itself. So it might have just been something along the lines of, in me to my head, it's just a, it needs to actually fill up first and foremost. And now that it's full and I basically have more than that left behind, then I think I'm pretty much set at this point. Obviously, I have no guarantee on any of that. Store. The amethyst, I'm not sure what to do with the amethyst. Because the reality behind the amethyst is that there isn't any actual use for it other than it looks real nice and real pretty. I can use like amethyst shards in combination with glass to make like a purple glass. But I think you can do that with dyes anyway, so it's not like it's a you have to have amethyst shards to do that. I'm not sure if it creates a specific style of tint. So my thought process was kind of like to make another version of the automelon farm, but I was going to do, instead of melons, I was going to do pumpkins. Because my farmer, I can sell him both melons and pumpkins. And if I have melons and pumpkins, then obviously that'd just be all the more for me. So my thought process was to just extend out this way so that I would have basically another farm of the same. Resource-wise, the biggest thing would just be redstone. You can see just the sheer amount of just like solid redstone dust you need up to here. 2 observers. This is the reason, one of the reasons I went with this one. So it's just 2 observers, and you get a daylight detector. One's day, click the other one over to night so that it will also run at night. Easiest part here, glowstone in the middle, and then you just plant. The most annoying part of it was actually putting the pistons down. So I actually had the thought later on, it's just like, I wonder if you could set this up and do the build in a slightly different order. Because the way that the build has you set up is, the first thing you do, and I wouldn't change this part, is dig down here, and you dig this part out. Then you lay down all your track, and then you put out the cart on it, and you let the cart run. And then so the next thing is you put in this layer of dirt. And you just have this layer, and then you put in a temporary layer above this, so I used dirt, just because dirt was easy. And you put your pistons onto that dirt. So I sat back and I looked down, and I was kind of like, you know, wouldn't it be easier to, since this is all underground, and so this is, right here, okay, well 2 blocks up is that, so I just need 3 blocks up. I was like, wouldn't it be just a little bit easier to do this section before you actually enclose it in? Because the problem is as you're sitting here, I'm literally underneath looking up trying to go, yeah, trying to get it so that all the pistons will face downwards. And actually I found a couple of them where it just fought me tooth and nail, and like on the ends here, I actually just dug out a row and just went down 1 row in order to actually make sure that the pistons were where they were supposed to be. And so I just had the thought in my head while I was doing it, just kind of like, wouldn't it just be easier in the long run just to, instead of that, just to, not fill in that section and then fill it in a little bit later with my put the pistons in and then fill it in after that, because it's not like let's take that back. So the difficulty behind that one is actually it wouldn't be easy for you to get to. Yeah, I'm not sure if you could get to all of the dirt blocks because you have to get to the dirt blocks and put down and use your hoe on them and you know cultivate them all so that you can actually plant stuff. You can't get to that one because you don't have. Oh, yeah, that's the problem. You can't do it that way. So I was thinking like you just walk around and do stuff. It's like you can't walk around and do stuff when the pistons are down because the pistons block you. Well, I suppose while you could crawl because Minecraft does have a crawl feature to it. It's like so you do have the potential to kind of basically just do a crawl. I was just thinking in my head of like, wonder how much effort it would take to actually crawl. What you could do as you're crawling, because I haven't actually looked into it. Because I know you can like mine when you're crawling. Because I saw one guy making the argument that it's better to early game at least do a mine crawl. So like do your strip mining, but do it while crawling. So you know you have to set up and force your character into the crawl position. Is like basically the argument was like do it while that because doing it while standing up exposes like 5 blocks per or 4 blocks per block that you open up. But if you're doing the crawl, then you're exposing 5 blocks, and so it's just that little bit better. And I was kind of like, maybe. I mean, if you're going to go into that level of efficiency, then yes, it's probably better. But it just feels like a insane level to try and call out over. I have so much flint. I should just come here and sell him flint. Whoa. I need to actually work on a couple of my guys here. Here's the guy I was looking for. He's got that. I don't actually have 4 of those on me right now. And he sells a decent number of things. The other thing I need to get is I need to get some potion stuff. And then I need to work on fixing up the village from creeper attacks. Yeah, it's creeper attacks. It's annoyingly frustrating that I've had as many problems with creepers in the village as I have because I can't understand where they freaking come from. That's right. I picked up my composter because I wanted to break it. Break one of the. I had 2 farmers. I think I broke the second farmer. He's the armorer. I don't want to give him coal, but I mean I could buy that. I don't necessarily need that, but it's one of those deals where I'm like, it'd probably be better to actually just buy it and use it. Buy that off of him so I can slowly kind of start working him. Because if you get hit to an armorer maxed out, I think you could probably get a some good like high-end diamond pieces and things like that. I mean, they wouldn't be necessarily cheap. But on the reverse side of that, you might be able to make use of it to get your what's a good word for it? Get like all your diamond stuff without actually having to go and mine out your diamonds. So you can use your diamonds for other things. How much food? Okay, night's coming on quick. I was gonna run to the other village, but it's like I don't really have any reason to go over there. I don't know where all my flesh is at. My rotten flesh. I keep picking up new stuff. Got so much bone meal. I usually just plant my trees and let them grow on their own. I've got so much lapis that I don't know what to do with it at this point. Got 14 blocks. That's 64 there. I've got so much. The slime ball. I don't have anything to do with the slime ball yet either. I've got seeds for melons that I can make use of. I've got 11 crying obsidian. I use the crying obsidian for something, but I'm trying to remember exactly what it is, and I don't remember off the top of my head. I've got a couple different enchant books. Take that. I'm going to leave that there. I'm wearing gold, aren't I? Yeah, I'm wearing gold boots. I want to make a quick trip back into the nether. See if maybe I can get some good piglin trades. Just kind of wrap up the stream tonight in general. I know we're not going for uber long, but I don't really have any. I don't have much to go for. It's got a little bit more impromptu. You know what I should have just hopped onto. I should have just hopped onto Master Duel and just done that, because that would have been a quick, easy, no hold bards type of thing. I'm gonna steal some of your quartz. Quartz gives so much XP and it's so good. It looks really good, and then you need it for. Oh, I lost a fragment of my quartz. There was a piglin back here last time. There you are. Hey, hey. I'll give you gold. You give me shit. Hopefully good shit. Black stone. I have no idea if that's good or not. I took quite a few trades last time and just gave me more blackstone. You're just giving me, what was that? Oh, that was time it was actually obsidian. It took quite a few trades last time before I got my hands on Eyes of Ender. What was that? Quartz? I think he gave me quartz. Couldn't really quite tell exactly what it was. That's a fire charge. I have a couple of different things where like I get them from them and I'm like, I have no idea what these are used for. They might be potion making. I know very little. Soul sand. I know very little at this point about potion making. That's one of my Achilles heels. Because realistically, there's another fire. I should be coming in here with like potions of resist fire, because that would make my life in here infinitely easier. What was it that he threw something at me? Oh, it was a nether brick. Fire charge. Alright, last trade for you. Now the nether bricks. Fire charge. Okay, the other thing I wanted to try and take a look at here, I'm at 85. 85 is not great. Let me try and like carve my way around this lava flow. The other thing I would like to try and do is to get myself up to find a spot where I have my 127. So at 127 is the top near top tier. Not quite as high as you can possibly go in the nether, but not technically it is as high as you can go in the nether. Technically. Because the only way to go higher is to use the glitch. So the one thing I saw, like the guides I was watching on it, was to do your best to try and find a what's this? This looks like something I did. I did this at some point. I don't know what I did it for. I don't know. But to basically try and find a spot, because right there, you see, right there, that's bedrock. But that bedrock is too low. I want bedrock that is actually higher than that. Unless they patched out, which as far as I'm aware, they haven't. Yeah, there you see. So what you can actually get closer to, I am so close to it right now. So close. That's almost frustratingly close. Because right now I'm at what am I at? 123. I can't even get up one more. Ah, that's so frustratingly close. Because I need to be at 127. Back to 123. So this is actually one of the more annoying, difficult things to try and do for this, is you just have to try and find a spot that is only that might be it. That might be it right there. No, it's 2. I'm 2 away. I thought I had it. I thought I had it for a second. In order for the glitch to actually work, you really just want to be as high up as you can possibly get. So, try and get yourself up to 127. The reason why you want to try and get up to 127 is when you're performing this particular glitch, then what you're actually going for, I just hit an opening. I just hit a very large opening. Because what you're actually trying to... I just made my way back into here again, didn't I? All around this frickin' nether brick. I know there's ways to break nether rock, but I don't think... I can actually do that. It's like TNT itself won't even blow up nether rock. Nether block. So there's no real major use to trying to do it like that. But the idea is we're going to glitch the game into putting us someplace it doesn't want us to actually go to. Or at the very least, that's kind of the hope. No. Because the game doesn't actually want you to get any higher. The game doesn't actually want you to get up to the roof. It doesn't. It's like, no, no, no. You don't need to be up there. 3. I can get up to like 124. So... keep getting so close. Yeah, the game doesn't actually want to let you get up to any of those spots. But if you can get to, you have to make sure that it is sufficiently close enough. Getting to 125. If you can get sufficiently close enough for this glitch to actually work, then what it does is the game, because we're going to make use of, we're going to make use of what the game already has in place, which is a teleportation method. The game using I have to take a look and see if it's actually like Ender Pearls or Eyes of Ender. I think it's actual Eyes of Ender. The game lets you teleport. You know, you throw it and it teleports you to wherever it gets thrown. Well, the idea is the roof of the Nether is only if you can get to the spot where it's only 1 block. So if you can get only 1 block between so you can get it so it's only 1 block between you and being essentially out of bounds. Then what you can end up with is a situation where you can kind of force the game to teleport you out of the kind of hole. It's basically a partial teleportation at first. You don't have full control over really anything that you do. This way. I'm looking for a way out of here. If you can kind of force the game to... yeah, we're lucky I didn't start swinging there, dude. If you can get to that stage, you can force the game to auto give you quick teleportation, where it just kind of goes like, okay, well, you're at, you're at 127, but you realistically, you threw the pearl, so I have to teleport you. So you need to actually be farther. You need to be somewhere else. So, okay, well, you're looking in this direction, so I'm gonna teleport you in this direction. What direction are you going? Well, you're going up. And so it turns out, what players were able to figure out is that there is entire sections of the game fully above the roof. There is an entire area above the roof of the game. And inside of that roof is just bedrock. So there's bedrock underneath, but that's because nothing is set to spawn there. And of course, you know, nobody's ever supposed to be able to get up there. All that makes sense. And so if you could theoretically force your character to go in a spot where he's not supposed to be and get up there, then you could have the game broken in such a way to basically be free to do almost anything you wanted. So that's what we did. That's what players did. So we managed to get up there, and that's where people are like, you can make all of these different types of farms. You can do, like, there's a auto gold farm you can do while you're up there. That's real easy to do. And I'll put this here. And boom, boom. There. Alright, so boom, boom. And boom, 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 boom. Alright, I'm gonna give it a whirl. What I'm just trying to do here is I'm mining out the gold. I'm trying to make it so that I think I got through. Trying to make it so the piglins and stuff around can't see me, because if they can't see me, they won't attack me for mining out their gold. If they can see me, then they throw a hissy fit because they don't want me mining out their gold. That's red nether stone. I'm not going to worry too much about recollecting it all. These are all zombie piglins too. There aren't that many like normal piglins around here. That's really confusing to me where they all went. Alright, where did I end up here? This is usually what ends up happening to me. I usually like go off, find myself in some weird spot, end up lost, no idea how to get back. Getting so much gold. How much do I have now? I've got 17 of those. Got 11 nether gold ores. Just zombie piglins all over the frickin' place. Oh look, lava. Yep, there's the stronghold. I'm actually underneath where I was previously. So if I actually mined up, because right there is my bridge. So if I actually mined up from where I am now, wouldn't actually need to necessarily mine up. Let me try. I'm gonna just do it this way. There's a big one. There's a big one. There's some of my torches. If I'm right on my assumption. That over there should be where I... Yeah, there's my stones. There's the stones I've put up in the past for stuff. So let's bridge our way back over there, shall we? Got a couple decent things from trades, nothing major. Hey, Soul. What's up? Sorry, I heard that you weren't feeling too well today. Let's see here. I got turned around again. That's right. They just kept raiding and I just got on. Come and join raid. Come for the rest of it. Yeah, I can. Just let me get back to my house and I'll hop over there. Oop, come back here, you. Alright. Let me quit out of here and we'll hop ourselves back over to... Thank you. I'll hop ourselves back over to World of Warcraft.